What is up, everybody? Welcome to Outside the Cage. It is a special day. The Giants got it done. I'm not even going to ask how you're feeling. I know how you're feeling.
Let's go, baby. Tommy DeVito, the spirit of New Jersey. We will see y'all in the playoffs. Let's go, baby. I'm delusional. I'm on my shit right now. Come on, one day we're the first overall pick. The next day we're making the playoffs. So that's the life of a
happens
New
fast,
York
man. Life happens fast. Life happens fast.
fan.
What a week it is. What a start to your week. But this week, even bigger week. UFC 296, Edwards versus Covington in Las Vegas, Nevada for the welterweight championship of the world. I'm not gonna lie. I looked this week and I was like, "Where's this fight at?" And I remembered it was in Vegas. And I'm kind of sick we're not there. I feel like we're just supposed to be there now. Every fight in Vegas.
It's kind of our home turf.
Yeah.
Because this one originally, remember December 16th, they were saying, "Oh, that's going to be Connor's return fight, and then Sugar's going to be the co-main." And I feel like that we were dialed in on going on that. And then once it wasn't that, we were just kind of like, we're not about to drop hundreds to not see Connor and Sugar. But we will in February in LA, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We're here. Leon Edwards, Covington. I don't know where to begin. I think on paper, this is a kind of a matchup of different styles. I think looking at it, you just think Covington is going to try to take him down, and then you think Edwards is going to try and strike, and whoever has more success is going to win. Is it as simple as that, or are we missing something?
I was about to say, I think it really is that simple. I don't know. I don't think Colby has much to offer him in the striking department unless Leon's hands are down by his waist, just because he has to respect the takedown that much, and it's really giving him fits. But yeah, man, I think this is going to be a matter of if it's on the feet, Leon wins. If it's grappling, then Colby's going to win. But I am leaning heavy towards Leon. I know we're not giving official picks today, but I think this should be like a minus 250, 300, just based off of Colby's age and his fight versus Usman. Obviously, that was years ago, so Usman was a little bit more dialed in. But, man, bro, even in the countdown, I don't like to take these into account, but when Leon was hitting pads compared to when Colby was hitting pads, Leon just looked a lot faster, stronger, more athletic, younger. So I'm leaning Leon at the moment. What do you?
I look at Covington's last 3 wins are Robbie Lawler in 2019, retired. Tyron Woodley, 2020, retired. Jorge Masvidal, 2022, retired. I mean, I just kind of look at it like that. I mean, literally last 3 wins are versus 3 guys who are retired. So, and there was nothing that he really showed in either. I mean, I guess the first Usman fight, but it was 2019. But like in the last fight against Usman, which again even was 2 years ago, I just don't think he showed anything. He obviously dominated Masvidal, but it wasn't like dominant. You should be able to put him away at this stage and at your stage in your career if you're fighting for a title. I feel like, but yeah, I think Edwards showed really good takedown defense in the last couple of fights against Usman, and that was the difference. I think his striking is just too sharp for Covington. I don't think the cardio will be that big of a difference between Covington and Usman.
Nope.
But yeah, I think I like probably Leon here to just probably win by decision. If he could land something crazy and stun him, but I think Edwards can just pick him apart for 5 rounds, and I think that's what he intends to do. And I think we're looking at here.
Colby is still a tough son of a gun, so he's going to be hard to put out of there, but I really like Leon by decision as well.
Yeah. The next title fight in this one, Pantoja versus Brennan Royval. First time we see Pantoja ever since defending his title against Moreno. First time we see a flyweight title without Moreno in years.
Seriously, since Figgy and Benavidez, I think.
Yeah.
That was
COVID.
Yeah, that was when I was first starting to watch heavy. I was like, damn, this Figgy guy's like unbeatable. Yeah. Little did I know.
Yeah. But, what do you like here? Brennan Royval, I like the youth on his side. Only 2 years younger than Pantoja, but 31. That's kind of the age I like. Pause. Coming off 2 back-to-back first-round finishes wins. That's against Matt Snell and Matthias Nicolau. Those are really good wins.
Those are.
He already has lost to Pantoja once in 2021 via sub. He lost to his last 2 losses are Pantoja and Moreno, so 2 guys that just had the belt. Yeah, what do you like here? Do you like both guys to still have the belt?
Many men, many wish death upon me. I got Pantoja here. I think 2 years. If you submitted Royval 2 years ago, I don't think that's enough time to make like that drastic of a change. And it's not like Pantoja's fallen off in any way. I feel like he's still improving. And we saw I feel like before Moreno and Pantoja fought, you said something along the lines of most of the times when these rematches happen this close together, like unless it's 2 different fighters, the fights don't look like that different. And I feel that on this one. I don't want to misquote you there, but I feel like you said something like that. So
Might say something like that. If only if it turned out to be true. But yeah, I think Pantoja, yeah, and I think he's obviously you look at Pantoja, he's really good against guys he's already beat.
Mm-hmm.
So he just either continues to do what he does or make slight adjustments to even further his chances. But yeah, I like Pantoja here. I just don't think Royval is ready for this stage. Nothing's wrong with that. Still young, he'll still be here for a while. But I think Pantoja's been in the big fights, been in these big moments. So I think that I'll like Pantoja here to get a title defense.
We really need to get more flyweights in the mix. So it feels like every fight's a rematch now for the belt.
It's hard that division. But I mean, you could say the same thing for lightweight.
Yeah, that's true. But at least they still got guys like Saryuki and Saint Denis, like people on the outside looking in.
So if there's no guys at 35 or 20, I mean, if there's no guys at 25, who else do you want?
Tatsuro Taira. We'll get into that later, but I think he's the one. I was Kaikara for a long time. I was thinking he was going to be that guy.
You know me. I was big Kaikara.
Yeah, bro. Well, Tatsuro Taira had a nasty KO this weekend. I thought he was just a grappler, but he's shown it all. I like it. Yeah. We'll get into that later. Wonderboy Shavkat.
Yeah, go ahead, Shavkat.
Bro, you see the stuff that Shavkat missed his sister's wedding?
Yeah.
And that looked like a sick wedding. I'm not going to lie. The videos had me getting a little FOMO.
Okay, he was probably in like a different like state or country, however they do it over there. I'm sure he was. But like if he wasn't, like, bro, you can't just go to the wedding.
Well, I think he's in America already doing his camp, and then they're in Kazakhstan or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because the visas and all that. Once you leave, it's probably harder to like get back in.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I forgot it's this week. I mean, I knew it was this week, but I forgot like they had to like go a week earlier.
I'm terrified for my guy Wonderboy. He's literally when you combine the person and the fighter, he might be number one just because he is such a good dude and his fight style is all you could ask for as a fight fan. Yeah. But he's just 40 years old facing the guy that I think is going to be the champ in this division. And he's that right there. That just kind of puts it together. I hope Wonderboy wins. I do like Shavkat a lot. I think they're both really sick. Shavkat's probably my favorite young guy in 170 right now, or just like up and comer, I guess you could say. But let's let Wonderboy get one more here. I'm scared. But I just don't want to. No, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say I almost hope Shavkat just takes him down and subs him just so we don't have to see anything brutal in there.
Yeah. Well, there's some big fights on the card this weekend. We'll get into that or later in the week with our preview show. We will have a preview show. We're back with the preview shows. This past weekend, we had a fight night. Song Yaddong versus Chris Gutierrez is the main event. Song Yaddong wins via unanimous decision. Looked good from the beginning. 50-44, 50-45, 50-45, just total dominance. What do you think of that, and what do you have next for Song Yaddong?
Them Team Alpha Male guys, they're coming back. Uriah making a little push with the smaller guys back up there in the mix. You got the women's champ right now at strawweight, I believe, or one of those divisions. I'm not really sure. But yeah, bro, Song Yaddong looked really, really good. He looked complete in the wrestling and striking department. He really looked like not an Islam style fighter, but just somebody that has elite top level grappling and also elite top level striking.
Yeah.
I think I had mentioned this last week after Figgy won. I was thinking him and Song Yaddong would be a pretty sick matchup, but I kind of got a little triangle in my head right now between Peter Yan, Song Yaddong, and Davison Figueiredo. I want to see two of those three guys fight. I'm not really sure who yet.
Yeah.
but I think those three, you need to make a matchup out of those three.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just looking at these rankings here, Peter Yan's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to mention him as this guy because I feel like he's fought really good opponents and he's just kind of got the short end of the stick and just maybe, I don't want to say got robbed, but just unlucky. But I kind of look at Peter Yan now as just the test for that bantamweight division. Like before you come in this 35, before you come in this top 5, before you come in this top 3, like you got to fight Peter Yan and to like try and get in there. So yeah, I mean, I still think Peter Yan has a chance to work his way up and like fight for the belt. But I think that he's that guy where like if you're a Figgy, if you're a Song Yaddong who's outside the top 5, you're 6, 7, 8. Like I think Peter Yan's the guy you should be calling to fight for. If you beat Peter Yan, you're really good in 35 division. If you beat Peter Yan, if you're better than Peter Yan, you're really fucking good.
Chocolate Toast, what's up? He said, Song Yaddong, Peter Yan. Say that 5 times fast. I don't know. I don't want to be saying any crazy things on the internet here. I'm not going to try to get exposed, canceled out here in today's day and age. But co-main event, Khalil Rountree kind of did what we both thought he was going to do against the Lionheart. Just eventually the power kind of broke Lionheart down and he got him out of there with the TKO. It was either second or third round. There was a pretty cool picture right after the knockdown. He just had his fist up in the air. He was debating whether or not he was going to do the hammer fist, and Smith was just out of there.
Yeah.
Did you have anyone in mind for Khalil Rountree for his next fight? I want to say he's ranked 11. New rankings come out tomorrow, so he'll probably be 10, 9, 8, somewhere in that range.
It's hard. Maybe a Ryan Spawn, or you say his name. Nikita Krylov. It's just hard if they're gonna make him go up or if he has to fight down one more time. He just fought up, so maybe they can convince someone so they can convince him to fight down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of guys here that I look at. I look at Krylov. I look at Ryan Spann. Maybe Alonzo Menfield.
Ooh, that would be a bang. That's a powerhouse fight right there.
Yeah.
I had Krylov. I feel like that would be a good matchup at that number 6 spot. So I feel like Rountree's the guy that people like to watch fight at that light heavyweight division. Memorable performances. So when you have one of those guys at 205, like we always say, you got to take advantage of that because far and few between up there. And
what a weekend it was.
I got to shout out my guy, Tatsuro Taira, real quick. We saw him fight in Vegas. He did almost lose when he was the second biggest favorite on the card, but he looked a lot better this time out with the KO victory. He's only 23 years old. I think he's either 13-0 or 14-0, and he's a flyweight. So I think this guy is a huge benefit for that flyweight division. Also because he's in Asia, so he's going to open up that whole market to the flyweight division. I feel like people underestimate that. When you have an Asian prominent fighter, they're going to bring in so many views from that part of the world. So I had Tim Elliott for Tyra next. I believe Tim Elliott's ranked 13. He just stepped in on this card short notice, looked really good against our guy Sumudarji, got a first round sub. So let's throw those two in there. Get Tyra fighting a ranked opponent, get him up in the rankings, hopefully.
I like it. I like the young guys. Especially those, like we talked about, the 25, 35. We need some new names up there. So I'm all for young guys in that division. So yeah, I'm with you.
Some juice. And last week, we mentioned to y'all that, real quick, couple fight announcements. We had Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili. Pretty much booked for UFC 298, I believe. So they'll be fighting in Canada.
Big one.
That's the title eliminator, right?
It's got to be 100% correct.
Yeah. Because Merab can't fight twice. Like, he can't fight and not get a title shot if he wins. Just with where he's at.
They want the Henry and Sugar fight bad.
Big time. I think Merab would do okay sales-wise, too, just because you kind of have the storyline with him avenging his teammate. But Sugar versus Henry, that's the one down there.
Obviously Sugar's the one. That's the one. But, like, I like this Henry versus Merab fight. It's a big one. It's
interesting too, like to see how Henry can deal with Merab's style, because we know what Merab's going to do.
And you kind of look at it as like the positions that Aljo was able to get Henry in, the positions that Aljo was able to get out of versus Henry, can Merab do the same thing? So it kind of lets us know like what a Merab Aljo would have looked like, or how much better or worse is Merab than Aljo. So I like it.
True. Common opponent for the two of them.
Yeah.
We can start doing our MMA math there.
Yeah, I like it. What do you like
And
today?
who do I like in that one? I gotta say Merab, honestly. Henry's not getting any younger at those smaller divisions. I say it all the time. I sound like a broken record, but you age a lot faster when you're 145 pounds or smaller. And I think Merab looked the scariest I've ever seen a bantamweight look in that fight against Peter Yan. So I'm not going to bet against him in his next showing.
Yeah, I agree. I'd probably have to see the line there, but yeah, you're right. I like a Merab there.
Let me see if they have the line real quick. While I do that, last week I had mentioned that none of the top 15 lightweights, which is the marquee division in the UFC, were booked for a fight. Since then, Drew Dober and Renato Moicano has been booked. I want to say they're at like 13 and 15 or something like that, but we still have got a wide open playing field here. So, we had to get together, cook up some matchups, decide what we want to see happen in the lightweight division over the next 6 months, I guess you could say. So you want to kick it off for us, Dimes, with your title fight? We also got some graphics, so bear with us in case I mess those up.
Yeah, let's get the show started. My title fight is Islam versus Charles. I think that's the one they're going to do. It's the one they originally wanted. I don't think anyone else gets the chance next unless it's Charles, because just the way he went out and they wanted that fight. So he did nothing wrong. He was just injured. So I think we need to get that one out the way. Let Islam win that one, then let's get these next guys some looks.
Keep it moving.
My second fight, I like this guy in the lightweight division. We've talked about him. Benoit Saint Denis. I like him versus Beneil Dariush. I still like Dariush in the lightweight division. He's had some tough losses. He has some tough matchups. Like we talk about all the time, like there's always a guy in the division that's like a test. I think that Dariush is a great test for Saint Denis. It'll show him where he's at. If he can get a win versus Dariush, he puts himself in title contention or for a title eliminator. I think if he wins this one, you look at this guy like, all right, his next fight needs to be for a title eliminator, or he needs to fight inside the top 5.
Yeah.
13-1, coming off a big win in Madison Square Garden. That matters.
Real.
Yeah, so yeah, let's go Saint Denis versus Dariush. Our third fight, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go Arman Stardyukian, and I like him versus either Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier.
I put Dustin on there for the graphic, but I got you.
Yeah. I don't think Dustin takes this fight. I think Justin's more likely to take it than Dustin. But again, we talk about this all the time. Like at some point, these guys like Dustin, Justin, like Chandler, you got to get out of there. You're just clogging the lane. So I mean, it's either you fight these guys or you just don't. And you just like, how long can we just keep them 2, 3, 4? Like you can't just keep doing that.
Just a big man standing on the block down there, not looking to score, just taking up space so no one can drive, huh?
So yeah, give me Armand to fight one of them, and same situation as Saint Denis. I think if Armand beats them, he's probably calling for a title.
I think he's one away right now. Has to be.
Yeah, so I like that for Sarayuki, and hopefully one of those guys can get convinced to fight him. Our fourth matchup, we're gonna go Dan Hooker versus Matthias Gamrot. Hooker's had some injury issues. But again, I think good spot here for Gamrot. He beats Dan Hooker. He puts himself in the top 6, top 7. Big for him there. And that's just, I think it's a good matchup here. I think Dan Hooker is not getting any younger. He's kind of running out of time. You see the more injuries he's had. But yeah, I think it's time for him to go all in. He beat Gamrot. You call for a big time fight, and then maybe you're 1 or 2 fights away for a title. So I like good spots for both of them there. So that's why I like that matchup.
I like that too.
My last fight, I'm gonna go here, is Jalen Turner versus Matt the Steamroller Favola.
That would be a banger.
2 super exciting guys. Both kind of in the same spot. Not good enough to be in the top 5, top 7, but they're on the outside looking in. So I think they can put on a classic, and I think either way this fight ends, it's in a thriller. So I think you put this fight third, fourth on the main on a pay-per-view card. I think it sells.
Yeah.
Just a banger. Both these guys fight exciting styles, so I'd like to
Yep.
see this here.
That boosts that boosts any pay-per-view they're on for sure. Those are both, I wouldn't say they're like needle movers yet, but every single diehard fan is going to get up to watch those guys fight every single time.
I agree.
I like those, bro. Imagine if we just see all these announced in the next the next month or two. They've got to be cooking these up. They're having the same conversations we are right now, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll run through mine real quick. I did them differently for the most part, but some of your matchups were, just they made too much sense, such as the first one, the title fight. I was coming on here last week saying that maybe Charles and Saryukin would have to fight to earn that title shot, but you kind of talked some sense into me. Charles didn't really do anything to lose it. You can't knock him for getting hurt like that. So I also have Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira for the title. Maybe UFC 300. I'm not really sure yet. Kind of seems like that is the next one that's not booked if Conor doesn't get on there. If he was Conor's co-main, that would be the funniest thing in the world. Conor would not let him hear the end of it in the presser. And then for my second fight, I had a title eliminator here. Just a surefire winner gets the title shot. I kind of stole this one from you a little bit, but Justin Gaethje versus Arman Tsarukyan. Both of these guys have an argument for a title shot right now, but neither of their arguments are like super convincing, I would say, compared to Charles. But if Saryukin beats Gaethje, or if Gaethje beats Saryukin, there's no way that you can deny that for the next title shot. You have them fight the winner of Oliveira and Islam, most likely Islam, and then we've got the division rolling again. And then this one's a little out there. I've got a couple that are a little out there, but this first fight, it's a rematch. But this first fight was one of the most exciting fights we've seen in the last 5 years. I think it was in the last 5 years, but I got Dustin Poirier taking on Dan Hooker in the rematch. Poirier, he says that he doesn't want to fight anyone. He only wants fights that excite him. I think this is a fight that he would take.
I looked at that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's a big jump up in Hooker for the rankings, but at the same time, Poirier's lost 2 of his last 3, I believe. Lost to Charles and then beat Chandler and then lost to Gaethje, right? So, I mean, he can't really be saying he wants to fight up anymore. He's got to fight down eventually. And this is a guy where you're fighting down, but it's still a huge name that you could put as a co-main and no one's mad about it. They were saying they wanted Dustin to main event a fight night against Beneil. So if they're offering him stuff like that, I think this is a step up, like money-making wise.
Yeah.
And Hooker doesn't say no. He wants to get that one back. First fight may have taken years off of his life/career, but I mean, hey, man, who would not want to see that again? And you see both their ages here, 34, 33. Let's make some more memorable fights that fans are going to remember for the rest of their lives. Come on. And then for my next fight, I had a matchup between two guys that are kind of right on the fringe. Got Gamrot versus Benoit Saint Denis. I had Saint Denis fighting up to Gamrot. I think the winner of that automatically just kind of catapults him into that Poirier, Gaethje, Saryukin range.
Yeah.
It's weird because Gamrot beat Saryukin, but lost to Beneil. Saryukin beat Beneil, so now they're kind of even again, or Saryukin's above him. But yeah, man, Saint Denis, that's my guy that I'm the most excited for at that lightweight division. You see, he's 27 years old. Everyone else on this list besides Turner has been over 30.
Yeah.
But I think Benoit has got next, bro. If there was one guy on this list that isn't like one fight away from the title that I would predict to be a future champ, it would definitely be Saint Denis, bro. Even though he's French, I am high on this guy. Him and Wemby are the two that are bringing the French back for me. And then I'm not going to lie, I got a little disrespectful to our friend Beneil here. My guys, Bidet and Sauce aren't going to like me for this one, but I put Beneil up against Grant Dawson.
Ugh.
Crazy, right? Grant
Like,
Dawson.
why is Grant Dawson the guy to get that?
So I was looking at the rankings. None of the other fights really made that much sense to me at the moment, just given what's happened. And I feel like Dawson, right up until he lost to Bobby Green, he was going to be fighting guys that are in this ranking. And Beneil, I mean, he's lost 2 in a row. It seems like his chin's starting to go a little bit. So let's give him a get right fight. And I think stylistically, both fighters would like themselves in this just because they're both more grappling based. And them grapplers, they never think they're a worse grappler than the other guy. So let's make Beneil Dariush versus Grant Dawson here. You either get Grant Dawson in the rankings or you get Beneil out of there with his 3rd loss in a row. And then I think Beneil could go win $1 million in PFL. I don't think it's a bad road for him at the moment.
Okay, respect.
So that is that. We just mapped out the lightweight division, kind of a lot, but I'll clip that up, put it on YouTube, so y'all can watch it in like a little 5-minute segment.
Thank you to all the views we've been getting on YouTube too. Really appreciate it. We've been booming. So credit to you, brother. It's all you. It's all you. You do all the work. So thank you, and thank you to all the fans.
Hey man, you got to give me something to post. You know, I can't just post a blank screen over and over again. So it's both of us all the way, man. And the Cowboys. I've got to ask you about it on the air. I know I said it before we started filming, but
Relax.
scary. And Dak he's looked like I don't know, he's looked like the best quarterback in the league the last 5 or 6 weeks. I hate to say it, but it looks really good out there. Here we go.
Yeah, we're looking good. I mean, you can't. I think you can't forget the losses to the loss to the Niners. But yeah, other than that, I mean, until we prove that we can beat them, I mean, it's all who we are. We'll win a playoff game, then lose to them.
I mean, what if Philly takes them out for y'all?
I don't know. I'm not trying to get my hopes up. You know me, I kind of stay steady. I'm not like these other fans. But yeah, definitely positive direction. See where we at. I think other teams last night would have folded and probably lost, but we dogged their ass out. So yeah, we're here.
And on the contrary, what has Golden State got to change up? It hasn't been a pretty start to the year for them. Obviously, it's a long season in the NBA. I don't really get worried about teams at this point in the year.
I just think that Steph Curry is the only super. I mean, okay, so I don't want to say only superstar because I think there's a lot of superstars in the league, but I think fewer on like Steph's level. So you could probably just say like it's Steph and LeBron as far as like being who they are to a franchise and like what they represent and like everything. So why does LeBron get all these guys that he wants and Steph never gets anybody? And I think a lot of it has to do with like the fact that he doesn't really want to part ways with Clay and Draymond, and I get it. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really. Again, I'm not saying like I'm fine with losing and like we're just gonna go out like this. But that one we won against Boston was kind of the end of it. I felt like I never thought we were going back to back. I thought that was the one that we had to get because like no one thought we were getting that one. So I think like my thing is like with the haters is like, okay, you keep saying we're not gonna win, or the dynasty's gonna end. Eventually it is. So you can just keep saying that and saying that and saying that.
Yeah,
they were saying it the whole year in the last championship we won.
that's
so
true.
that was the one where it's like after that championship, I can live peacefully. So now it's like, do I wish we were better? Yes. Do we need to make changes? Yes. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything that we can do to help us win the title. So if that's the case, let's just ride it out with Draymond and Clay right off into the sunset.
It just feels like you should have the pieces though with Wiggins, Steph.
Wiggins has been bad, bro. Wiggins has been bad.
Right? That's a Looney. What about Looney? Is he just doing what he always does?
Yeah.
He's solid.
Greatest dynasty and greatest team of my generation. Golden State Warriors, baby.
Any sport?
Any sport.
Whoa, better than the Pats?
Any sport. Steph Curry, baby. Steph Curry for president.
And McGregor for president.
Like I know how there's like everyone has like people like And you might have multiple people, but I think for you, it's probably like Eli and Kobe who are like those
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, like to me, it's just literally it's only Steph.
You kicked Rondo out. Rondo's
It's
not
just
like
different.
that. I know.
It's
Yeah.
just different. Yeah, it's just different. It's just different.
Rondo was
Like
your guy.
Steph's just like it is just like yeah, like it's literally like there's no other athlete that I would like glaze over other than Steph. I'll go to a hill, like I'll die on the hill standing up for Steph, like
I
forever.
completely get it. I'm the same way. Only Eli and
Greatest,
Kobe get me feeling that
greatest
way.
player I've ever seen, for real. Greatest player I've ever seen.
Same with Eli in the playoffs. Never seen a better playoff quarterback.
No, I like, and that's why I say like for you, like
Yeah.
if I was a Giants fan, like you couldn't tell me shit about Eli. He fucking won us 2. You
Bro,
can't tell me shit.
the dude has a losing record during the regular season for his career, but no one's ever gonna mention that. They
Yeah,
mentioned
you
the
can't tell me
two.
shit.
Bro, Joe Flacco might get 2. He's Donald Trump was right when he said Joe Flacco is elite. He just knows how to play the quarterback position, no matter how old he is. He could just go out there and sling it and read defenses and just
Professional.
call audibles. Yep.
Professional.
Bro, the NFL is like crazy right now. Have you looked at the standings? How many teams are like between 6 and 7 and like 8 and 5?
Yeah.
Even Kansas City and Buffalo, they're just right in the middle of the pack. And then
Yes, sir.
I think that's all we got. McGregor for president. You see any of that stuff?
No, what's that?
Bro, he's trying to run for president in Ireland because they've had, I don't know, apparently there's stuff going on and political things going on in their country with like violent crimes and stuff like that. McGregor just kind of threw his hat in the presidential running. And if I was in Ireland, if I was an Irish person, like who doesn't vote for him, bro?
No, stop. He has mental issues. Like he's literally like has screws loose. Like no, it's not a thing. You don't say why would I not vote for him? Like no. I can name 1,000 reasons why you wouldn't vote for him.
If it was him and Sleepy Joe on the ballot, I'm checking McGregor every single time. I need to find this thing before we get off of here. It was so funny. He just posted like this long ass social media post about why he would be a good president compared to the other people.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Imagine him in the debates.
Yeah, no. He can't put his mind on something long enough to be the president, so.
That's probably true. This one lady, she said, she's like some politician in Ireland. She said, like, I would never nominate McGregor. And he's like, I nominate you to brush your teeth. Them yellow things. You should be wearing a mask.
You just can't do that. It's like Trump, bro. Like you just can't say some shit.
Bro, imagine a Connor Trump debate.
Yeah, like you just can't say it. Like when you're that high level, like position, you just can't say some shit.
You gotta know, huh? Even us on here, we know we can't say some things because we're we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, then we'll be back probably live on Wednesday. Episode dropping on our YouTube on Thursday for the super preview. So if y'all want to watch it a little closer to the actual event, it'll be out on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you as always.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
We will see you guys next week. Deuces.